Fuck it. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle the Irishman Morrow, and welcome to Nobody's Listening. On my right here, if he actually was Batman, he would never get any of the villains.
The fat man, Alex.
And on my left here, I actually have one of my bestest friend. He is a cop, but that's close he'll ever be to a vigilante.
James.
And down there on the end of the table, because nobody really likes him, and honestly, if he had a Batmobile, it would be a rascal.
Andrew.
The Fat Bat. All right, everybody. So we've actually got a list of things that we're actually going to talk about today. And we actually kind of, after talking it over and everything, we realized that for some reason today it is just going to be a Batman gumbo, which is great for this guy because he absolutely loves Batman. It's actually his favorite character.
Absolutely.
So hopefully today we're going to be able to intrigue everybody with what's been going on in the DC news. We have had a lot going on. Now, keep this in mind. I know that everything kind of looks a little wonky right now. The background is kind of weird. The audio, well, it's pretty much top-notch. It's about as best we can go. But the camera situation going on here, which James is in control of right now, it will get better. As for right now, we are literally starting out. This is our very first episode. This is everything, years of planning all put together, and we're going to try to make the best out of it for both YouTube and Bitchute. So I hope you guys can actually bear with us, and over time we are going to have one amazing show. At least we hope anyway. When me and James originally thought this up, and then we threw Alex into it, and it just spiraled into what we have now. All right, so our very first topic that we're actually going to talk about today is well, I think we need to start with the Dick Grayson situation.
Yeah.
That seems like a really hot topic right now, and everybody kind of seems to be talking about it. Dick Grayson? How did you word that?
Man, I guess he just got tired of being called a dick all the time.
I think it has to do with Batawang.
No, actually, I'm really curious to see how they're going to do this. Now, according to the sources that we've actually read, apparently Nightwing is supposed to get amnesia, which I like the way that Andrew put it. It's just a cheap cop-out. They've decided just to give Dick Grayson amnesia, and he's going to wake up and he's going to have a name change of Rick Grayson, as well as he's going to lose actually some of his skills. I mean, how do you guys feel about that? Yes, student number one.
Basically, he no longer likes dick.
Basically, yeah. That's basically what it boils down to.
I haven't read the comic. Have you read the comic?
I've only seen clips of it so far.
Okay. All right, so...
we don't really have a comic book store for 80 miles.
Yeah, it's kind of a long way. We live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. But, I mean, everything I've seen them talking about it, fans are kind of touch and go with the idea because, once again, it's kind of a cheap cop-out because they immediately went... I'm going to move my mic here. They kind of immediately went for the amnesia aspect.
Yeah.
Just like Superman actually did, Batman did at one point. I mean, do y'all think it's just a cheap cop-out? Do you think they were just looking for an excuse to change his name because I got tired of using the word dick?
I hope not. I hope it's one of those things they're just messing with us on. Because DC has been known for doing that, just messing with your mind, and then last second being like, oh, by the way, gotcha.
Well, see,
at the same time, changing a character's name that's been established for years.
Almost.
The most iconic Robin ever.
The first Robin.
Yeah.
For about 80 years, he's been Dick Grayson.
Do you think it was just the fact that we're tired of printing the word dick?
Maybe.
I mean, I know that's cheap. That's a cheap joke, but I mean, when you really boil down to the idea, why the sudden name change? Do you think it's PC culture maybe doing it? Do you think that maybe that they thought that he needs a change for a popularity's sake? And the way they spelled it too also really kind of bothered me. Did anybody else check the spelling, or was that just
me? R-I-C.
Yeah, it was R-I-C. And it took me a minute to realize that it was Rick. Like, I don't know why it took me that long, but but it was one of those moments where I had to read it like 2 or 3 times, and I kind of felt stupid when I realized it was Rick.
I don't know any Ricks that spell without a K.
I know, that's what threw me off. I was looking for the K. I was like, is this a misprint? Did they screw this up? But you go to other articles, that's how it's spelled. Like multiple articles, that's immediately how it's spelled. It's R-I-C.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like they're doing the cheap cop out. They're trying to change the name. Do you think they're gonna like maybe make a whole new character out of it?
I don't see how. Not with Dick Grayson.
Well, I mean, you got to think they're actually going to change his skills because he's going to lose some and supposedly gain some. I don't know how true that is, by the way. The issue hasn't even come out yet, or hasn't even come out yet. Bad English.
Bat English.
Yeah, bat English. No. To me, it kind of feels like they're revamping the character.
Honestly, I don't see why you would. I mean, even Batman hasn't been that revamped. I mean, he's still...
Well, Teen Titan has taken over the Robin aspect now. In my mind, anyway.
Titans.
Yeah, the Titans, the whole concept of that. I hit my wire. The whole concept of that. To me, it feels like maybe they're trying to separate Dick Grayson from the Robin aspect. I mean, he's always been Robin, and everybody's mindset, no matter what new Robin they brought into, we always go back to Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the newer stuff with Damian Wayne, he still points out, you were Robin, I am Robin.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it kind of feels like a cheap cop-out. When fans want a change, they're going to want something that is memorable. And the Amnesia probably was memorable back in the 60s, but now it's kind of gotten to that point where...
It's soap opera.
Yeah, it's soap opera.
Yeah,
it's very
Days
basic.
of Our Lives crap.
It's, definitely Days of Our Lives kind of feeling. I don't know. Do you guys think that it's a cheap cop-out? Do you think that maybe maybe they're trying to revamp the character? Are they trying to change things up? Are they just stirring things up? Or maybe trying to separate Rick Grayson, from the Teen Titans Robin that we all know? I don't know. Comment down below. Oh, speaking of which, don't forget to like and share. Get us out there. I know we're new. This is our first episode. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to screw up. The script is all over the freaking place, sadly. But we are going to get better as time goes on. So please don't forget to do that. Our next topic that we're actually going to talk about, we were just talking about it just a second ago, and I guess we need to just kind of transfer from there to the next, is going to be the Teen Titans show.
The Titans on DC streaming app.
Is that the only place where it's at?
Yeah.
Why?
A way to push the new app.
That's what they're
Which-
what they're going for. They're trying to...
I got to give it to the app. It's one of the better, hey, we have a streaming service thing because it is comics. It is the movies. It's, I think, every one of the series, ain't it?
Just about. I think there's one or two that's not.
Yeah.
I know they got Wonder Woman.
They've got almost everything that they have done on there.
So basically, it's a corporation cop-out.
I wouldn't even call it cop-out.
I
It's
think
just
what
them
they're
going,
trying-
hey, let's actually do something. And honestly, it suits fans.
At least it's not a pain in the ass thing like CBS All Access.
I mean, one of the things that big business has been doing a lot of, and I'm kind of against big business in some aspects, especially when they do stuff like this, is instead of just going, hey, let's team up with another company, they've gotten to that point now where they're like, hey, let's just do our own thing, and then we'll charge people extra for it. I don't know. Do y'all think that's wrong of me to think like that, or do y'all think that I could be maybe have something here? I mean,
I think what it is they saw where Marvel has done right, and they're finally starting to maybe. Can you hear me? Okay. I think maybe they're starting to realize that they can't just jump into everything. They've got to start off small, and with their original shows being on their service, they're probably thinking that they can build a better universe than what Marvel has done, because with a television show, you've got more time to tell the story and fill in the gaps. And instead of them doing a cinematic universe, they can do a TV universe. And we know Marvel's TV universe kind of is waning.
CW.
No, Marvel's universe.
Oh well, not Marvel, but I'm thinking of DC.
Marvel's
I'm like,
ABC.
I hate the CW getting a hold of DC. Like I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, but so far I haven't found a show that I actually like. I mean, Gotham, it was okay. I mean, that's about as close as they ever got. Flash, the first season was okay. Arrow was okay. And then just everything from there just kind of went downhill, in my opinion.
I like the CW universe, but what I don't like is them.
Wasn't Gotham Fox though?
Yeah, Gotham is Fox. Gotham is separated from the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I like the Arrowverse. What I don't like is how there's two Flashes, two current Flash.
Yeah.
And there's two Supermen.
Yeah.
And there's going to be two Robin or whatever. There's going to be different Batman.
Right.
I don't like those universes being scattered out and this one over here, and because it hurts my head.
Yeah.
Makes my eye twitch.
Kind of gives you that.
This guy is Flash, and then over here, this guy who looks nothing like this guy is Flash also, and they're both. I don't like it.
It's kind of like, well,
I like consistency.
Well, at least one thing. At least there's only 3 Jokers currently.
Currently? I mean, what's your take on this? I mean,
I kind of like it. From what I've seen from that,
yeah,
I actually do like it because it does have a good selection of the comics.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's full access to the ones they do have.
And some of the older comics too.
Yeah,
really.
they do have access to most of the series,
Okay.
most of the movies,
Right.
and even little bonus stuff like certain things about certain characters they have on there, which is kind of nice in a way.
Yeah,
it's like inside story of, and then name your character.
Yeah,
and they're steadily adding more of those,
and they're going to be adding more shows to it. Swamp Thing is going to get a show.
Now that I actually
really
would
like
be
Swamp
interested
Thing.
in that. Because I mean, Swamp Thing is kind of one of those kind of side characters that you don't hear a lot about. You see in like comic books, and I know he's got his own comic book, but I mean, like you'll see him in kind of memorable sections in comic books. But then he kind of shows up in like things like what was it called? Injustice, the game.
Yes.
Yeah, Injustice 2, if I'm not mistaken. I think he makes an appearance in it, and everybody loved Swamp Thing because it was such a reference to back when Swamp Thing was like a serious ordeal. I want to say like the 90s. I want to say something to that nature.
Yeah, there was a TV show in the 90s that was Swamp Thing.
That's
and then
right, they did,
there were
didn't
two
they?
movies. There were 2 movies that were supposed to be tied to the show, or the show was supposed to be tied to the movies. One or the other. They were B movies. They were just B monster movies. That's basically what they were.
Nothing DC did back in the day was ever good except for Lois and Clark. Dean Cain is still Superman to me.
I like Dean Cain. He did a good job as Superman, and he's still working. He's doing a lot of...
What about that Tom Arnold crap? I mean, how do you feel about all that? I know this wasn't planned, but it kind of falls under the same ordeal.
I didn't follow the feud on Twitter.
I did.
I just heard a little bit about it. I saw where because I follow Dean Cain. I don't follow Tom Arnold.
I don't either. I don't follow Tom Arnold, but I do follow Dean Cain.
Oh my God, it's a thousand wonders. Dean Cain did not floor that man. If you got into my face and calling me,
but that's the thing. That's the thing. It wasn't Tom Arnold who got into Dean Cain's face. It was Dean Cain who approached him.
He approached him because of what Tom Arnold said on Twitter,
and he had every right to. I don't think he's wrong for that.
But the stuff that Tom Arnold was calling him and calling these things to his face,
yeah, and then he tried to switch it to it's all political. It's all political, man. It's got nothing to do with you. But he's calling him out straight.
He called him a fake Christian, and then Dean Cain does the most Christian thing and not floor this guy, not beat him into the cracks.
Exactly.
And that forced hug at the end, that was
so awkward. That was, if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out.
I fucking hate you.
I fucking hate you too.
Okay, yeah.
And that's kind of how it was. It was like that awkward of, did that just happen? To me, it was feeling really kind of forced.
Wasn't that the point where he actually posted, I think we're finally over this, I think the fight's over, and then all of a sudden he jumped on him again?
If I remember correctly, Dean Cain kind of, if I remember from what I had heard from other sources, because after that situation happened, I kind of stopped following. And then it went from more and more news about how Tom Arnold started calling out Dean Cain, and then other people are saying that Dean Cain said something and Tom Arnold kind of took it the wrong way and started more drama up again. I don't know exactly which one is right.
From what I understand, it was something along the lines of Dean Cain actually said, I think the argument fight is finally over, and posted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then Dean Cain just jumped right back in again.
Well, I mean,
might have.
Maybe.
I haven't been on Twitter in since before this happened.
Yeah, I know. I got back on Twitter probably this morning, and I didn't see anything on it. But the way I'm looking at it is, you have a guy, Tom Arnold, who claims he's all Christian and yada
Tom
yada.
Arnold?
Yeah, Tom Arnold does, and then he turned around and says that the guy who plays Superman, who has been extremely nice, tried to stay out of the politic aspect of it, although I have seen him show up on Ladder with Crowder once or twice.
He has.
But I think he does that for comedy aspect, not political.
Dean Cain is conservative.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't know if he was like flat out or if he was kind of centralist.
He's conservative. He's just a regular dude.
He's just a regular guy,
dude.
man. No, to me,
I don't know that he's like.
How did we spend more time on this? It's more drama, I guess.
Because I don't think that Dean Cain is like the celebrity Christian that's just so perfect. I don't think Tom Arnold is. Well, I know Tom Arnold isn't, but well,
I mean, this is the same guy who
I don't want
sung
to talk down to either one of them. I like both of them.
No,
I like both their work. I don't.
You
I
have
agree with everything each one of them says.
Well, I mean, you have like Dean Cain, who played Superman, and I think he did, kind of like an action-style cop, and a couple of other movies. And then you have somebody like Tom Arnold, who sang "I Am My Own Grandpa" on The Stupids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drugs were involved with Tom Arnold,
Well,
whereas
both
Dean
of them.
Cain, football player turned actor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't see as Dean Cain being what Tom Arnold is saying, and it sounds more to me more of a political argument than anything. I don't know what that has to do with DC, but I think it's just because it falls under Superman.
Well, because Dean Cain is Superman.
Yeah. So, but back on the
gotta-
subject.
You
at hand.
gotta look at both of these guys. Were never like. I don't want to sound like I'm talking bad about them. I'm not, because they're doing better than me. But they've had a hell of a career as B actors. But look at the one who has been working consistently, has saved his money, has invested his money wisely, who still has a lot of money, who's not broke and not doing a consistent role. And then look at the one who has not.
Move your mic closer to you.
Look at the one who has not worked as consistent and has just about gone broke.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
one of them's smarter than the other.
Well, I mean, and just the and we do need to get back on subject,
Yeah.
but as to kind of put it kind of bluntly on how I feel about the whole,
I side with Dean Cain.
I side with Dean Cain. I really do. Merely due to the fact that he got called out over nothing.
Well,
And-
it could have filled his pockets very well for him to be.
Well,
on the
there is no
ball.
such thing as bad publicity, because publicity
there's no
is
such thing.
publicity.
But I mean, he could have gotten in line with everyone else in Hollywood, and I mean, he could have.
That reminds me, I don't know why.
It could have
this
made him a
reminds me.
lot of money, especially if he just sided with all of Hollywood.
Yeah, he could have
If he
easily just
gone
fell
with the
in.
flow of things,
And instead, he decided to
He
go
stuck to his
against the
guns.
grain. He
He
stuck
stuck
to
to
what he
his-
believed.
right?
By the way, if YouTube goes down again, we are also going to be on Bitchute. I don't know if you guys actually heard, but actually YouTube went down for what, like 30 minutes to an hour?
And a half.
It was an hour and a half.
Certain
Like,
places, it was almost an hour and a half.
And it was worldwide.
and it was worldwide. I mean, there was people, but on a bright note, Pornhub never went down. Pornhub stayed
never
strong. I'm
flickered.
very proud of them. But but anyway,
Strong to the end.
as for the Teen Titan aspect, I'm not expecting a lot out of it. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of the show. I expect it to be another sleeper show, another show that and we're getting back on subject. I'm sorry. We tend to ramble and go different places.
Like now.
Well, I mean, you know me. I don't put much stock in any DC live anything.
Yeah.
But now you tell me there's a new DC animated.
I'm on it.
I'm on it.
Oh yeah.
DC
In a
can do a
heartbeat.
decent anime. Or, well, animated.
Animation.
Let's
the one
not talk about the one DC anime. That was
Your screen's black, by the way. Okay, it's still going. You know, I still want to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
Talking about Batman Samurai.
Somebody's slow.
it's it is definitely an anime. I mean,
It has every anime cliche ever.
yeah.
That you could actually
And the
possibly
one,
imagine.
it has the one cliche, an overabundance, a plethora of the anime cliche. That
Sound
I hate,
emojis.
Mecha.
that it turns me off of anime. Yeah, you're right. The sound.
The sound emojis. Sound
Uh-huh.
emoji be like, huh?
But did he take 3 episodes powering up?
No, actually, it was
No.
very quick.
But there was a whole 15
But I
minutes.
swear
of-
there was acid involved in the creation of that
Somebody
particular one.
somebody was
Somebody
on
was
drugs.
involved on drugs.
Someone got one.
I still haven't seen it yet. I know. Shame. But
I will not dish you for missing that one.
really, well, it must be awesome.
And
I want to see it now.
You know me, I'm a hardcore Batman fan.
I know
That one
I know.
was, by my standards, the guy who watches almost nothing but anime found it weird.
Horrible.
I have to see this magical piece that you.
It was a
talked
train
about.
wreck.
I want to. Well, that's why I want to see it. I want to see the destruction happen.
Well, I mean, I
live.
went into it thinking, okay, cool. My favorite genre of TV ever.
right.
My
With
favorite, hero of all time.
Exactly.
I'm like, what could go wrong?
Everything.
An hour in, I'm just sitting there.
Why?
The hell am I watching?
Why have you done this?
What is this? Somebody stab my eyes out. Give me bleach. This is not what I wanted. Undo. Go back in time. Delete. Undo.
Delete. Upgrade. I said upgrade.
Not upgrade. Delete. Just delete.
Just delete that whole memory.
Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete.
Like
I would definitely say it is one of the most
memorable.
memorable Batman.
So if you have shrooms, it should be epic.
If you're high or drunk, you'd probably really enjoy it. And I don't do either one of those things, so I
Yeah.
can't watch it.
I'm gonna have me a nice bottle of whiskey or vodka to figure out if this is gonna be good. I actually would like to see it. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys actually watched it? Please comment down below. We'd
Yeah,
actually
tell
like
us how
to-
much you hated it.
Yeah, because I mean, this is one of those things that when I saw the trailer for it, I was a lot like you.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god, anime plus Batman. I'm so down. Like
You know,
I
giant castles that transform into robots.
hell yeah.
Then they all combine.
Why?
Then you have the weird monkeys combining into some sort of mech, into like a golden giant monkey.
Oh God!
It makes my brain hurt, but I want to see it.
The bats forming a freaking multi-story tall Batman.
So stay away from brick
Ooh.
walls because eventually you may actually start banging your head against the wall. Just kind of.
Like I said, I thought we had my favorite two things, and
You know, it's like when you can't combine certain foods that are your favorite. Like, you know, you don't take a perfect steak, which everyone in this room loves, and
Oh,
mix it with chocolate cake. You can't have a steak cake.
You can't have a
No
steak.
steak cake.
I want to try now. Like I know it's going to be disgusting. What if you mix it with German chocolate cake though?
I'm gonna go see if Chief has any one of those piss tests.
Wally,
For
was a
you.
little-
For you.
For me?
For
Okay.
you.
well, you did say some weird things in the chat lately.
No. Okay. This man proceeds to like barrage this guy with a buttload of questions, just back to back to back. I'm sitting here watching TV. I'm digging on my phone for today's episode, and I'm trying to, find articles. I'm trying to find things that could be handy for us to use in our conversations. And I cannot get a lick of peace on my phone because I'm getting
Bling,
bling, bling, bling, bling, bling. And I finally had enough, man. It had pushed me to that limit where I was like, where were you on the 25th? Do you know what a cricket smells like? Beef jerky. If you had to have beef jerky, would it be
This didn't
teriyaki
happen.
or spicy? Like, I was literally coming up with any freaking question, and a couple of times I did the voice to text thing. So it was really funny because my girlfriend is sitting right next to me, and I literally blurt out, if you had to have beef jerky, would you have teriyaki or spicy? And she just looks at me, pauses the TV, and goes, "What the hell?"
I almost spit on this expensive microphone.
I mean, it was one of those things where I had to look at her and go, "Baby, if you only knew." But all in all, that was like one of the most stressful things in the world when you're trying hard to work and you can't because you're getting 15 questions that aren't directed at you at all, that have nothing to do with you, and the other guy's not answering the questions. But
well, I do the camera
Yeah.
work and the editing. He does the sound, and I was trying to come up with a centralized way to make things easier as opposed to us.
But you were interrupting my work, which is create this show.
Yeah, I take full blame for the crappy cameras right now.
Well, no, right now we are at a small stage. Speaking of which, if you actually have some criticism, we would actually like to hear that. Another thing to comment down below.
Comment down below me.
We're probably going to get a lot of comments saying, "Why come the one down there didn't move his mic closer?"
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, like you keep
Well,
staying
we
way
can
too
be
far
candid.
away.
We
Oh,
don't
you're
have
talking
to be
like,
so hard.
Moving
Yeah.
to the edge of the table. No, not him. You.
Mine?
Yes,
Like this.
Like that.
6 inches.
We should have done this like post episode, like pre episode.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, I said post episode.
Pre-episode.
Pre episode.
There we go.
All right. So that being said, and we have gone all over the place. We did really well with the first segment. The second segment, there's not a lot you can say about the Teen Titans segment.
It's one episode.
It's
in.
your
The second
fault. I
episode-
blame you.
The second episode come out today. I have not watched it. I've got to rewatch the first.
I thought it was up to third.
Second.
What day does the show come on?
I think it's every Friday that they upload a new episode.
Because I saw a lot of stuff on YouTube where they had the advertisements for it, and I kind of thought, it kind of looks cool. They're just trying to make Robin look good, and I kind of left it at that.
Beast Boy is green, not green unless he morphs.
So in other words, this way they don't have to constantly do the trickery.
And they didn't find Orange Chick to play Starfire.
Well,
There are some out there. Have you ever been to California? The fake spray tan
I
is
know,
terrible.
right?
I wish they had given her an orange hue. I don't care about
The skin
the
color.
actress. I don't care about the skin color. Starfire is orange.
Yeah.
This girl
Give her a
has,
fake
has
spray tan.
nothing that about her says this is Starfire unless you know.
Does she have the costume at least?
It says costume-ish. It's kind of like what she wore.
Oh, God.
She's got the big hair.
See, I
The
wasn't
hair's
a big
cool.
fan of the Teen Titans cartoon.
There's
I was
no-
no appeal for me there.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say that the comic books were well.
There's
I
no
mean, what I
discernible-
have read of them anyway.
There's no discernible traits that she's Starfire.
So
And there's no discernible traits that this kid is Beast Boy unless you see him change. I think he has pointed ears. I think they gave him pointed ears.
so he's Legolas of DC.
and Raven doesn't have the weird gemstone in her forehead.
Yeah, she doesn't
part.
have that. And they
She-
might do this as they go.
Well,
I mean, they're starting out.
now keep in mind, Raven did that a little later on.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Originally,
I-
her father was actually imprisoned in the other dimension. When he got busted out, the crystal was shattered, and the only way she was able to do it was reseal him in it. This time, it was a little crystal. And how do you keep an eye on him? Keep
Right
him
here.
close.
Okay.
And so she implanted the gem into her forehead
did
to
she?
make sure she always knew where he was.
And of course, Starfire has amnesia.
Another
That's
amnesia. Why? Why the amnesia? Why does DC cop out with amnesia constantly?
I thought he was exaggerating when he was talking about that.
No.
But
Now that you look back on it, it immediately makes you go, "Huh? Why?
I don't.
Why?
I do not recall this much amnesia stuff when I would go to my grandmother's and she'd have on Young and the Restless.
This is what I have to work with, people." All right. Honestly, we were gonna have a middle segment, but that didn't work, and I'm starting to think it's not going to.
What do you
We
want to?
can still do it. I mean,
I mean, we really don't have anything that we were planning. Okay, so the idea for the middle segment, this is absolutely going downhill very fast.
No.
The middle segment is going to be these three dodo birds are going to present to me in secret a product. Now, if you have an idea of a product and you guys want to see them, put a link in the comment section to like a GoFundMe, what other the websites? Kickstarter, things like that. So that way they can maybe see it. If it's something weird, kind of wacky, fun, nerd related, geek related, whatever you want to call it, we would actually like to see it. And then we'll present it as well on the show. I'm hoping that maybe down the line we'll eventually have products just kind of sent to us. And that would actually be fun for a middle segment to me, is just to present you guys with like something really dumb. Not like the Pikachu butt plug that I told you I was going to slip it in there. The
weird stuff in Final Line.
Slip it in there.
But is it necessary?
Is it necessary is actually going to be the name of the segment. And we're going to actually break it down and find out, is it actually necessary, worth it? Something to that nature, basically. Because there's so many products nowadays that are absolutely useless. And you know what? Actually, I am going to talk about a product. I'll have to find the link and I'll send it to you. Maybe you can have it pop up on screen. Or
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, something like that.
That would be easier.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier. We'll put it in the description down below so that way you guys can actually go.
That would be easier for
and find it for yourself. I'll send you the link to it. There is a camera that's getting ready to come out, though, that I'm actually very excited about. I keep bringing it up amongst these guys. They're probably sick of hearing it, but I know I haven't talked to you guys about it. It is a 360-degree necklace camera. I know.
It goes around your neck.
Yeah,
is it like a choke or does it hang?
It just kind of hangs. It kind of stops like right here. It doesn't like link down here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it just kind of like you would a sweat towel when you were working out. You know, and you kind of hang it around your neck. It's that kind of concept. And I don't know how many cameras it has. It's been several months since I read this actual, I want to say it's Kickstarter. But basically, it'll give you 360 degrees of, I want to say somewhere around 15 minutes of video. Now, to me, I actually see a purpose for this, not only for traveling, and mainly that's what I think that they were trying to, for like athletes, like, you know, bikers, rock climbers, things like that, because there are some situations where turning around is not something you're going to be big on, and then later on, but honestly, I see it for travel too. You go to other countries and you visit them, that would actually kind of be cool.
At the same time, though, a 360 video, the amount of sheer storage room
that's why it's only 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's why it's.
I mean, how big is the internal storage for it to be 15 minutes?
See, I think there's
what
some.
What is the quality of the video?
Actually, the quality isn't bad from the little video I saw. I actually saw a little bitty video in it, and from what I saw, it seemed like it was decent video.
Yeah. But you know, the last phone I had actually used the Oculus.
Yeah,
setup, and just a single roller coaster ride video in that thing
was
used up like 5 gigabytes.
Yeah.
For just a couple minutes.
Yeah. No.
I mean, if you really wanted something you wanted to save, I'd say, no, you don't really need it.
Well, I mean, technology is growing day to day to day. I don't expect this one to be perfect. Does that make sense?
True.
But it's an idea that could grow. I mean, how many people actually thought that GoPros would be a thing? High quality, small camera. And I mean, we're talking like enough to where you can put it on your hat.
Yeah.
And it's not that big of a deal. It's not heavy. It holds one hell of a charge. And at one point, somebody imagined this being a thing. And back then, you know, we were still using cameras that were somewhere around this long, you know, about this wide. And we thought that was, horrible quality. And we thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
And then they started adding cameras to phones, and we thought, this is
quality.
dumb. Why would you need this? Why do you need it? And now I don't think half of our society can live without it. So
you even got ones that low light filters, motion detection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think this is not going to be the product that we're expecting, or at least that I wish it would be, in my opinion. But I think it's a start that needs to be done. Because down the line, I could actually be seen and being used by police departments. Because sometimes things happen.
Yeah, because I'll have is the body cam in
Well,
the center of the chest.
See, this is the thing. There are several different kind of cameras, and I've looked at several of these. There's the glasses cam that has a piece there, but that is only visible and you're able to really use in the direction that you use of your head.
Right.
And that's all you're going to catch. Then they have the idea of the body cam. Well, when you go to hold your gun, and I'm just doing this here, it
You can
curves.
see.
It curves at an angle, though.
But you can still see.
But most people don't stand like that. I've watched so many body cam footage, it has driven me crazy because
it shifts.
and it's all on the left side or the right side, depending on the hand of the officer. Right. It kind of shifts and it goes out of frame, and it's a waste. Then you have the shoulder cams, same situation. And then you have the hat cams, too. That, again, same situation. You know, you get like, half his head or whatever, or her head on the left or right side of the screen.
If you've got this necklace, though,
it will cover everything.
Covers all of that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That could be handy. I could see it for firefighters as well if they can, make it to where it could be heat resistant and be able to take it. I mean, that could be handy down the line if somebody, God forbid, somebody dies in a fire. How'd y'all get separated? Could you imagine them going back and checking that video?
Right.
It's little things like that. I could actually really see a use for it. The military as well. Sometimes things go wrong. I'm not saying that that's all we need to use it for, because honestly, I like the travel aspect. This is just me. I've always wanted to go to Ireland, but I have one of those things like, God, I wish I had gotten a picture of that building. It was really cool, when I go places. So if I go to, like I said, I've always wanted to go to Ireland. If I go to Ireland, I'm going to want to go back and try to remember that. And it would be cool to be able to see everything around it. I mean, do y'all think it's a good idea? Do y'all think it's a waste of time?
I don't see I don't see where it would be practical. It's cool, and I'm sure it could be useful in some way, but I don't see where anywhere it's going to be there's going to be any practical applications to it.
I honestly think that the version on Kickstarter would probably be featured on Tech Tips as a kick farted episode.
Kick farted.
I mean, what's your opinion on the idea? Because I mean, if you have to admit there is some use for it somewhere. Maybe not right away, anyway.
It's kind of like having a specialty camera.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of people that's going to look at it. They're going to go, ooh, that's kind of cool. But how many people to actually use it right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you take it on a trip with you, one, you got to have extra storage because, I mean, there ain't no way around that.
Again, I'm hoping that maybe that'll be fixed down
and
the
then
line.
just to use it, you're looking at having to have a VR set or slowly scroll on a computer to look at it. I mean, really, VR would be the only way to really use it good.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
If it's even VR compatible.
I think that's what they were shooting for, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know for sure. Dude, it's been a while since I've seen this article, so I'm going to go ahead and point that out as well. I mean, to me, I see use out of it, not as right away when the product comes out, it's going to be absolutely perfect. I see it as that stepping stone for the next piece. That it'll be way better, and then it'll get better and better. And before that, by the time I'm freaking 50, I expect it to be pretty standard with things, or pretty common to have something to that nature. I don't know. There's several ways they can go with it. I guess I want to see more of the 360 stuff in a weird way. Mainly because VR has become so popular and it is starting to grow. I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I'd like to see a little more of a VR world.
I just wish I could afford a phone that could do good VR.
I mean, there's a lot of uses for VR. Do y'all? Actually, that's another good question. Do you guys think that VR is going to be as popular as people think it's going to be?
I would love to play some VR games and have them go back and port some popular games to VR. My favorite game of all time. You know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Left 4 Dead. The Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
The Left 4 Dead series.
Could you imagine?
Boomer!
Could you imagine that being in VR?
That
and I already look like Francis anyway.
I actually think that would be kind of cool to go back, do some old school games. To do some old school games, go back. Could you imagine Mario? And having a platformer, and you have to climb up and go down the pipes, and you actually have to hit your head.
If you're going to do a VR Mario, there's one that comes to mind that'd be ultimate. Mario 64.
Ooh.
Go with the first 3D Mario game
Yeah.
for VR.
And have it as
That'd be
it pops up and it's hello, and you're in his eyes
Mhm.
seeing the camera, and you can pull your own face. You remember that? That was like the
Mhm.
coolest part.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you could like pull his nose and mustache and eyelids and all that, and you
Yep.
can make him sit still, like it sits still like that. And so you can make like the weird faces and get it to stick, and then you can make it jiggle all back. It was so weird. Jiggle, jiggle. I'm not gonna say what just popped in my head. You pervert! I'm sorry. I just thought Peach would have been more fun to play. I'm sorry. No, actually, I think VR would actually go a long way if you could bring back. Could you imagine Pac-Man on that thing and getting chased by these like colorful ghosts, and you're having to do the running motion, and meanwhile you got to get the dots and the fruit and all that, and it's a maze on top of all, so it's not overlaying. You actually have to find your way around.
Yeah.
That would be.
There's no overlay.
Yeah.
I would be terrible at that.
I would too. I'd be like, did I make a left or a right?
I'm gonna
back
need
there?
I'm gonna need a map in the bottom of the screen.
I see VR gaming maybe in the future, if they keep going the way they are anyway.
Right.
I see them actually making it better.
Yeah.
Better and better
Oh,
and better
yes.
as more and more
yes.
time comes on. I mean, we're seeing a lot more. You broke it. You broke it. No, I'm kidding.
I can't go this long without nicotine. That's why
I can't
I'm-
either. I've been kind of slowly
All right,
hitting
Nick
it.
break.
Nick break.
I-
No, anyway, are you done?
No, I got one more.
All right, hurry up.
Why didn't we open with the fog for the Batman centric episode that it's not anymore?
That we have gone all over. Freaking.
It's not.
Actually, no.
We were worried it
Strangely
was
enough,
gonna
we got to
be
go
nothing but-
back to Batman.
Yep.
We have to go back to Batman. This is why we're calling it Batman Gumbo, because we have to have a little bit of everything in there.
Everyone's
But it
wearing
always
Robin
comes
gumbo.
back to the meaty center and the juicy pieces that is Batman.
Yep.
So we've
I'm so
got
hungry
actually
right now.
a lot to talk about, and we're actually running close to our marker. So let's go ahead and do that.
Oh, did y'all hear that they're coming out with another Arkham game?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
I know nothing about it.
I
No.
don't either.
either.
I'm
It keeps
I'm
going.
hearing they're going to make it bigger, Gotham bigger. I did hear that, and that's about as far as I
That's
heard
all.
about it.
That's more than I know.
That's way more than you
Hey,
know.
remember the
we
crappy
expected to
acclaimed
know.
Batman games though?
I couldn't get through the first one. I
I played the first Batman Arkham.
I see.
game.
I started to play
got
it, and I
halfway
never
through
got
the
anywhere
second
with
one.
Going back to what you were saying about VR, there was a VR Batman game
Was there?
Yes, there was.
for the PlayStation 4.
There was.
I
There
just
was
so
also
happen to have a PlayStation.
Skyrim VR. So there actually are really good games for the VR for PlayStation, even though Xbox totally was like, "Oh, we're not going to worry about VR. It's not going to go nowhere." Instead,
at
you
you,
got
Walter
Sony
Cronkite.
going, "Hey guys, here's 2 hot games right off the bat." Boom!
And they literally slapped, Xbox in the
From
face.
what I've seen for the Skyrim, it is trippy being in the game.
I think I saw a video on it, and that's about as far as I got with it. It looked okay. The graphics were good.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
give them that. The graphics were good, but I think there was a little bit of lag with the head turn, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not entirely sure. Or that was a different video. It might have been a different game. I don't know.
May have been before a patch. Everybody's got to do patches nowadays.
This is true. All right.
Yeah, you spend $60 for half the game, and then another 30 or 40 for the patches
For the DLC.
and the DLCs.
I hate the DLC concept, and some places are actually trying to make the loot box stuff illegal. I really think they need to do that with DLCs.
Yeah.
Like the loot boxes, you know what you're doing. It's a risk, and most likely you're not going to win. If you want that kind of person, you have that kind of money, and you want to spend that kind of money on doing the whole loot box thing, that's your own fault. But the DLCs, I think, is what they need to go after.
Well, now on the plus side, you do have some newer games coming out, like Fallout 76. The money spent on items in game are vanity items only, no game enhancers.
No pay to win. I
Yeah.
hate.
You're
pay
not
to
I
win.
getting-
hate pay to win.
You're not getting guns. You're not getting armor. You're getting cosmetics. That's it.
You can.
You're going to
cosplay.
make your character look as pretty or as ugly as you want, but you're not getting a new gun.
One of the things I'm hoping they do with Fallout 76 is for the cosmetics, bring for like the assault rifle, because you know they're going to use the Fallout 4 weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope they make one where you can get it, and the rifle is the set me, like it was in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
Well, actually, the only thing I actually want to see out of the new is they have to bring back the teddy bear launcher. To me, that was the funnest part.
I'm a Fallout virgin, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That's okay. Okay.
Poor deprived soul.
I'll teach you. It's okay. Anyway, we're actually going to move on to our next segment because time is running fast. We're actually going to talk about Pennyworth. Have you guys looked at anything for Pennyworth?
Yes. From what I know, it's a young Alfred.
Correct.
He's either, I think it's SAS soldier. I think that's what they're doing with
They
this one.
never really stated in any of the articles I read of what kind of soldier he was.
I read one. He's a SAS soldier.
Okay, I may have missed that article.
Him and Thomas Wayne put together a fake company to do.
No, not a fake company. They actually make a security company.
A secret company, wasn't it?
It was
secret
a
or security. Security company.
So
we all know that Alfred was like a legit badass back in the day.
oh yeah.
Was?
He is. He still is.
Come on.
Well, it depends on which Batman we're actually going to be talking
Right.
about with Alfred. But
That was first mentioned in Batman the Animated Series, wasn't it?
Mhm.
yes.
That was the first time anyone had any kind of backstory on Alfred, if I as far as I know.
Yeah.
As far as you remember, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Pennyworth is actually going to come up on FX, and Pennyworth is actually going to be played by Jack Bannon, excuse me. And
He's a
Bannon was
baby.
actually fairly new. He is a baby into the cinema industry. I think the only noteworthy, in my opinion, that I saw that I even heard of a movie that he had done was actually Fury, which was the one with Brad Pitt, I believe it was, the tank movie that was really popular, and actually a lot of people GIF now. A lot GIF or GIF? GIF?
I've always called him GIF.
I call him GIF. Anyway, it's going to be 10 episodes, about an hour apiece, is what they're planning on doing. It is actually going to be set in the 1960s.
Right.
Which was
that makes sense.
Yeah, I was curious about where it was going to be set at, or at least on the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to take place back in the 1960s. Now, Pennyworth, which they didn't really mention Thomas Wayne. I'm kind of glad you said that because I didn't know that. They set up a security company. Now, I'm not sure how they're going to go from a security company to him being the nanny. It was the way that you stated it, and I really like that. Now, the actual writers are actually going to be Danny Cannon and Bruno Heller. Now, Danny Cannon actually was the director of the 1995 Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone. Hey, give him props. It's the first Judge Dredd. That's all we had. At
It was
the time.
good if you were 10. The Judge Dredd.
I still like it.
I still
like
It was
it.
good.
Yeah.
And Demolition Man. Those are
Shush,
great movies.
shush, my child, shush. And then Bruno Heller was
Bruno,
actually
I'm
known
sorry.
for doing the show Rome, and also both of these guys were writers in Gotham, so they know how to screw up a series very well.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm actually really impressed that they've gone this far with it. This is the only information that we truly know about it. Now, I do want to go ahead and make this. Forbes actually had a little quote, and this is the name of their article, was, "Do we really need a TV series about Batman's butler?"
Yes.
Absolutely.
It takes place in the 60s. It's a security company. It's going to have a James Bond type feel.
I kind of hope they do.
I'm just saying, even if it was just Alfred cleaning the mansion, there's nerds like me that would still watch it.
There are
because-
fans out there that would watch this.
Because Alfred is this perfect, sarcastic butt when he wants to be.
Butler.
Yeah, he's a butt of a butler.
Well, I mean, to me, Alfred was always that wise uncle. I know this sounds weird, but like,
Right.
especially in that time era, if your dad died, who was the person you looked up to? Most of the time was you would go to your uncle and be like, what was my dad like? Kind of thing. And since Thomas Wayne doesn't have that ability, I kind of feel like that's what Alfred is.
Well, and then you have a lot of arcs where you have Alfred referring to him as his son, and
Yeah.
him referring to Alfred as his father.
In a way, he technically was.
I mean, he is the one that raised him from the age 8 up.
So,
I
I
can
mean-
only imagine the paperwork because Alfred would have had to have legal custody
Oh,
yeah.
of him. I can only imagine.
I'm pretty sure there wouldn't have been a
shitstorm.
lot of paperwork. Honestly, I kind of think total opposite of you because I'm pretty sure that Thomas Wayne has already got a lawyer who has all that shit already
Oh.
drawn up in case something went wrong.
You know what, though? One thing I do love, there's so many times I've seen in either a comic or a series, he'll go out to do something really stupid, and Alfred will ask, I'm still the main person on your will, correct?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Just that
numerous
little cynical him that makes you laugh your ass off at him.
So if Batman actually dies, Alfred comes out on top no matter
Oh,
what. Got to look out for number one, I guess. I don't know. To me, I'm a little worried. Now it is coming out on Epix, so CW doesn't have its talons into it right now.
Epics.
So yeah,
Epics.
Epix. Which who the hell watches Epix? I don't know.
I had an Epix account for a little bit because it had the first Captain America movie on it, and I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
So I got the free trial, watched the movie, let the free trial run.
now Pennyworth's coming out, and it's like, damn, I shouldn't have wasted that new trial, that old free trial.
I'll just get another.
Just make
email
another
address.
account. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of nervous, but at the same time, I'm kind of all excited. I think Pennyworth will actually be interesting if they go the way that they're talking about now. I think it'll be a lot of fun to actually watch. Well, we've seen what they did with Gotham. That does kind of worry me a little bit.
Do you remember? Was it last season where
I haven't caught up with the new season yet.
I watched some of the first season, but I did catch. I think it was last season.
I think I made
Where-
it towards the end of 2.
Young Bruce Wayne is starting to do what young Clark Kent did in Smallville and go out on his own as a vigilante.
I
Yeah.
haven't got to that point yet.
Okay, his suit was a modified gimp suit. That's what it looked like. He had the leather mask with the face hole cut. It looked dreadful. Wow. It
So
was
we're
horrible.
talking about like Tim Burton bringing Catwoman to the screen. kind
It
of
was
thing.
it looked like Catwoman if Catwoman was a dude. That's exactly
That
what
is
it
horrifying, and I'm kind of scared now.
No.
Because these are the same guys that wrote that crap. Or at least 2 of them, anyway.
I don't hold out much hope for anything live action that DC does. But their animated stuff, since, what was the first one? Batman Mask of the Phantasm?
Mm-hmm.
Since all the way back in 92, 93, they've been killing it on their anime stuff, with
Well,
the exception of the...
You did have Super Friends back in the day, and even that was pretty good for the time.
Yeah, it was good. It was
it was
written
Saturday.
strictly for kids.
Yeah.
You can't go back as an adult and, oh man, this is great. Like you can with
No.
Batman.
Or
But-
Superman.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50. What do you guys think? Like, really, seriously, tell us down below what you think of Pennyworth actually going to be worth. But I think it's time, because we are getting close to our marker, that we talk about the one piece I've been holding since about Tuesday. And hold on, because this one is a doozy, because
boiling pot
DC,
of doo-doo.
this is the boiling pot, and I am terrified. So
You're going to have a laugh.
you need to take a rip. You need to take a rip, because I know this is going to hurt you deep down inside. Now, a new movie is getting ready to come out. It is supposed to be released on October 4th, 2019, and it is called Joker. We're finally going to get a Joker film. But I do not hold any hope. Their current budget right now, as of the time of the shooting of this, it may change at a later date, but it is 55 million USD. Now, the real thing that I'm absolutely terrified is the director.
All right, who's the director?
The director is actually Todd Phillips. Now, he has been known to have
Name's
directed...
Todd, I'm over it. I like him.
He has been known to do Due Date, Hangovers 1 through 3, Old School, Road Trip, War Dogs, and Starsky and Hutch.
That hurts.
If you want to cry after
Those
this, it's
movies-
okay. We'll
At
have
the
we'll hold a
same
session.
time, are we better off with him? Or would we have been better off with, say, someone like Tim Burton getting his hands on Batman?
I
universe
agree
again?
with that as
I'm
well.
over Tim Burton.
Tim Burton is terrible. I hate
Don't
Tim
get me
Burton.
wrong. As a kid, I loved his movies on it.
But as an
As
adult,
I got older, I was like, "This is why the bat nipples."
That was not Tim Burton.
that was
That
not
That was
Tim
Jerry
Burton.
Schumacher.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
Schumacher?
Jerry.
Oh, okay.
Or-
But
Joseph
I
Schumacher?
will
It was
say
Schumacher.
this-
We'll just go with the last name.
there's more information and it gets way, way worse. So the actual actor who's going to play Joker and Arthur Fleck, supposedly that is the name of the Joker.
The Joker does not have a set origin.
3 of them.
3 Jokers.
Oh, well, hang
Mobius
on to
chair.
your belt. Hang on to
Yeah,
your belt because
yeah.
it's about to get worse. It's going to be played by Joaquin Phoenix, who is actually known for Commodus and
Doing weird
The
shit.
Gladiator. He's also the one that played Johnny Cash and Walk the Line, as well as he played the voice in Brother Bear's Kenai. So fun little fact
He's a
there.
good actor.
He's a decent actor. First off, I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Now, we actually made a joke that it kind of sounds like they're gonna do something along the lines of Deadpool, of this comedic, psychopathic fun. And actually, James was the one that quoted that the other day, and I couldn't help but laugh because the next actress is going to be playing Sophie Dunn, which Dum, I don't know how to say that, is going to be played by Zazie Beetz, who actually played Domino
And Deadpool
and
2.
Deadpool 2. So it kind of feels like they're going there, but there's a bigger twist. Another actor who's also been added into the list, but strangely enough, according to IMDb and Google, they have no titlement of what he's going to be, but some people are actually speculating that this guy is going to play a television host who drives the Joker crazy. And that actor is Robert De Niro. Yeah. I mean, this is what drives me insane. Now do you see the combination? It makes no sense. They have left this into like this unbelievable reign of chaos. Granted, that is the Joker's way, but I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I don't know if I need to save this.
No,
Do this
no,
now
no.
Or save it till you get to that part.
I will talk about this
All
here
right.
in a second. But I mean, it right now, as of right now, I'm not sure how I feel about this movie.
If they go back a step on the Joker, get rid of the one with the weird tats in the grill. Give me a real Joker again, at least one that looks like the Joker.
Not a
acts
meth
like the
head.
I'm
Joker.
so glad that you said that because there is another Joker movie that comes out the same year. And it's
Oh,
actually his Joker.
So we got one for the newest generation of fans that really don't know the Joker, and we got one that, God willing, will be more.
Now, supposedly,
Wait.
Joker, the movie Joker, which is the original one we're talking about, that's going to have Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
I like his name.
Joaquin, but it's not
Joaquin.
spelled like Joaquin. It's Jeff Heron. But there is some things that I hold positive for it, as well as how do you say his last name? Jared
Leto.
Leto. I can never remember. I want to call him Jared Leno, but it's Leto.
I thought it was Leto.
See?
Leto.
See? But
heard it
honestly, I kind of liked the Suicide Squad Joker. I know that is taboo. See, I knew I was going to get that face. But let me go ahead and say this, and then you can make your own decision. And I'm about to lose a bunch of fans just for saying this, so I'm taking a risk here. So
I don't want to sit next to you anymore.
no, actually, the one thing that I do know about Joker is that Joker always went to the times, and for a Joker that is to fit our generation, needs to be something like that. Now, I'm not saying that he did great, but he didn't do bad considering.
The part that threw me off was the look,
Okay, I will give you
because
that.
they pulled so far away from every variant of the Joker that I had fell in love with over the years, and did grills and tats.
But that fits our generation.
He looks like a thug up meth head tough
Okay,
guy
when
wannabe.
Joker first came out, he was a guy with a Tommy gun, but it fit the era.
he was slick.
Yes, he was
He
slick,
was
and this is
smooth.
the slick now.
Well, it'd
Do you
be-
see what I'm saying?
Well, to be fair, the original Joker was based on a Nazi, an actual
Really?
member of the Nazi Party.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he was one of the guys in the propaganda department of the Third Reich, is who they based it off of,
Oh my
including
God.
the creepy smile that he did in a movie called The Man Who Laughs.
Yeah.
So the man who laughs was the Nazi?
Yes.
That was the actor
Yes.
was that I did not know that.
I have seen the photos from that.
I've seen
Wow.
the man who I knew about the man who laughed, but I did not know this guy was a Nazi.
And this guy
Wow.
does, the real life guy does have a smile that will haunt you.
And I thought I had all the information.
Like,
Anyway,
unless you don't want nightmares, don't look him up. Because his smile is like the Joker smile, but
He
in real
even
life.
pulled a Joker type killing of people by putting them on a boat and tricking Russians into torpedoing it, killing more people than the Titanic.
good God. See, I didn't know all this. All right, so back to the topic at hand. Granted, that was actually really interesting. We may actually talk more about that on a later date. But anyway, the two movies that are going to be coming out the same year, we do know about Joker, which is actually the name of the one with Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. Joaquin. And then we have The Joker that's supposedly supposed to come out the same year. Also, another interesting thing is there's actually rumors going around that Suicide Squad is dead. They're going to just revamp it. But strangely enough, IMDb has it set. Now, that doesn't make it necessary, but that means that there's talk somewhere going on about it of actually having a Suicide Squad 2. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to go up. But the one thing that actually brought us to Joker and talking about Joker was the fact that there was an Adam West Batmobile that actually made sighting near the shooting
I've heard about that.
of where Joker is at. Now, do you guys actually think that it's going to be in the movie? I mean, granted, this is the Joker.
How is it going to make any sense if it's in the movie?
Well, I mean, it could have been
It's the Joker.
It could have been a dream. It could have been a hallucination. They could use it in a couple of different ways.
Or it could have been simply it was on the same set because that's where they might have done the shooting for an episode of Big Bang Theory where Penny rented the Batmobile.
Or maybe in
Okay.
this storyline, Adam West Batman does exist. Huh? No?
Why?
So serious. No, I'm kind of scared by this movie. Why is there two Joker's movies going on? Why
And I
did
assume
the
they have nothing
Batmobile-
I assume they have nothing in common with each other.
Well, I mean, obviously not, other than they're making... Fans have clamored for this. We have wanted this. And they've given us two options. This one with an actor who's okay, but they're giving us a director that does nothing, or at least notice
He
of
did
comedies.
movies. He did movies that a young, up and coming Ryan Reynolds would have been all over.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which one?
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder.
Yeah.
And there was a couple other movies that was on that same. So he's done
American Pie. I think you're thinking of American Pie. I don't know how to feel because we have Joker and The Joker with Jared Leto. Jared Leto?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
I'll
Jared
allow
Leto. I mean, I'm going to hurt you really, really badly. And your acting is terrible. But I mean, there are two Joker films coming out. The fans have collaborated and screamed and yelled for a Joker origin film live action for
Have we?
years.
Have
And
we?
yeah, I think we have. In
Not
my
really.
opinion, I have. I've
Have
always
we?
wanted it, and a couple other people I've
I have
talked to.
wanted a good Joker movie.
Instead, they give us
Keyword.
these two options.
Good.
A good.
Good.
I mean,
A is in
I'm
singular.
really hoping this ain't too
I don't.
half-ass.
I don't understand Todd Phillips for being the choice of
His name's
director.
Todd. What do you expect?
It's the lightest name you know.
Jason Todd.
And then why
Look
throw
like
Robert De
anyone with
Niro in
Todd.
this? Why? I don't understand. I'm very confused. I'm very scared. Then there's the sighting, though, Adam West Batmobile, but that doesn't mean it was on the set either. It actually, I think there was another crew that actually talked about this, and they were saying that maybe there was a car show nearby and it just happened to pass by. I mean, there is a plausibility. They picked a comedy director. They chose an actor who does do well in some movies
He does
as a
artsy
villain.
fartsy type
Yeah.
stuff, though.
And that's what worries me. Yeah. And on top of it all, they throw Robert De Niro into the mixture of this bull crap,
You're
which
talking to me, Joker?
there was two rumors about Robert De Niro. Now, inside sources are saying that he's going to play as a TV host that actually pushes the Joker over the edge. But there is also another rumor going around, and I think this is by fans, so this is probably just speculation. Robert De Niro playing the Penguin in a Joker film. See? Go. Let it out. And that's all we have time for.
Deep inhale and sigh.
I mean, what do you guys think? Will you go see these movies? Will you actually watch them? Do you think maybe some changes need to be made? I really want to hear from you
I'll
guys,
watch it
both
if someone pirates
YouTube
it.
and both on YouTube and Bitchute. Please comment. Let us know. Let us know what you're thinking, as well as tell us about the show. Do you think that maybe there's some things we can change? I do know that we kind of screwed up a little bit today, but this is our first episode. Y'all guys have to keep this in mind. We're still learning. But, I mean, all in all, I've enjoyed doing this. I can't wait to start doing this. We're going to be doing this, I think it's every Monday. Every Monday we're going to be having this kind of...
Should have it uploaded every Monday morning.
That's right. So I'm very excited about this. I hope you guys are too. I am Kyle the Irishman Morrow.
The Fat Man Alex.
Papa Fozzie, James.
Andrew.
Fat Bat. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. Please comment if you have any ideas, any comments. Maybe you know more about this stuff than maybe we missed something. You know, if you see something like that, please let us know. We definitely want to hear from you guys. And I honestly think this is going to be a fun show, and I hope that we get better and we grow.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get better. Forgive us for any slip ups we make. We are our own production crew, and we've had to teach.
We do
ourselves.
everything, literally everything from
We've had to teach ourselves new
everything.
things.
Just remember, this is episode 1. We're just doing this. We have a long way to go.
The pilot always sucks.
Well, thank you for joining us for the Batman Gumbo. I am again Kyle the Irishman Morrow, and you're watching Nobody's Listening from JAK Productions. Have a good day, everybody.